Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make a corset bust cage. So I'm going to be using these materials right here. Firstly, I have my patterns that I've already drafted out from my corset pattern. So if you do not know how to do that, I'll be linking all my corset tutorials in the description box so that you can go ahead and check that out. Secondly, I'm going to be making use of a Reginline bone, which is a type that we can easily stitch on. Then I have my interfacing here. I'm going to be making use of hairstay, and also I have this pink fabric, which is what we're going to be using. And lastly, I have my black lining. So guys, first thing I'm going ahead to do is on this black lining here. As you can see, I'm just placing my patterns on it and I'm just pinning it down, and afterwards I'm just marking ½ inch stitching allowance all the way around my pattern for me to be able to use and stitch this down. So by the time you're done with this, just go ahead and cut it out. So the next thing I went ahead to do was to use these lining pieces to cut out on my actual fabric. So this is what I had after I was done cutting it out. So now what I'm going to go over to the ironing board to do is to iron my interfacing on these pieces that I have here, both on the lining and on the pink fabric that I'm working with. So I'll just go ahead and iron my interfacing to all the pieces and I'll be right back. When you're ironing your interfacing, just make sure that you're ironing it to the back of the fabric. So after I was done ironing it, this is what I had. So for each of the pieces that I have here, I actually decided to iron 3 layers of interfacing to each of them just to give it strength. So just go ahead and do the same thing if you're working with an hairstay. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to put these lining pieces together like this. Ensure that the right parts are facing each other so that you don't have issues later. And what I'm just going ahead to do now is to pin down this curved part of my cup here, and I'll now head over to the sewing machine and stitch this area down, and I'll do the same thing for these pink pieces as well. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done making those stitches. So as you can see, I'm just making notches around my stitch, and then I went ahead to iron my seam open using my tailor's ham. So I'm just doing it for both the lining and the actual fabric that we're working with. So guys, for this bust caging, we are going to be more focused on the lining piece, which is this black one here. So one thing I want to first of all do is to make a mark ½ inch away from the sides all the way around. At this point my biro was misbehaving. I got another one, and right now I'm just making ½ inch. It's about ½ inch allowance. Just mark it all the way around the cup, just like you see me doing like this. So guys, this is what it looks like. Just go ahead and do the same thing I just did on your own cup. Now from one part of this cup, just go ahead and mark the middle of this side, and from this point here I'm just going to make a straight line down to meet the other part where I already made a mark around. So I'll just stop it there, and I will do the same thing for this other side as well. So I'm just roughly making a straight line down to meet the other side of the circle. So now once you're through with this, what you want to do is to come down to the other side of the cup, which is this other side here, and from this point you can just go ahead and come down by 1½ inch. That's what I did here, and I'm just marking it towards the other side as well, and roughly making about 1½ inch until I get to the end of this curve. So this is basically what I have. It's now looking like a net. It's really very easy to actually do. So after doing that, we are working with a Reginline bone. That's the one that you can stitch on. I said that before. I'm just going to use my bone now to measure on the middle of my cup, this middle line where we join the stitches together. That was the first one I did. Make sure that your bone does not extend past that stitching allowance that we initially marked. So now we are going to head over to the sewing machine, and just like you see me doing, I am stitching this bone on one side first to this middle line, and then I'll go ahead and stitch it to the other side as well. So I will stitch it on both ends of this bone, and this is what it looks like. after I was done with this particular one, and you can see that our allowance for stitching at the top is still there. I start placing my boning from the top of my biro and end it at the end of the biro as well. I hope you guys understand. So for this second line, I'm just going to go ahead and place it like this here, and I will also go ahead and stitch it down on both sides. So I'll do it on one side first and turn it over and stitch it on the other side, just like this. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to continue with this process for all the other lines, and also for the ones that are going to come across, which is one of the one that you see me doing right now. The same process applies. Just go ahead and stitch it on both sides. So you can see how far I've gone here. I have left the one going all the way around for now. I'm here to do that. That will be the last thing we'll do. So guys, for this one that is going to go around, this is going to be the last part. So you bring your bone, and from this part here, you're just going to go ahead and arrange your bone along the line that we had all the way around, just like this, and it's going to stop at the top of the cup. So I'll go ahead and stitch it down now. So I'll just place it on the sewing machine, and I'm going to be arranging it with my hand as I stitch. This particular one, you're not going to cut it into pieces. You're going to place it around the curve except at the top. So as you can see me doing like this, I'm just arranging it as I sew, and when I get to the end, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the excess bone. So guys, this is what I have so far. I'm going to do this other line, and then I'll have one more line at the top, and that will be all for this caging. So I've done the one for the top, and this is what it looks like. So this is simply how you can go about caging your cup. So you can see now I've placed the pink on it, and it just sits perfectly. So also I went ahead to cut out another black piece of lining and stitch it down together to use to cover this whole cup by the time we're done. So we'll leave this aside first. Firstly, what I'm going to do on this caged cup that I have here, as you can see, I'm placing hemigum all the way around the cup. And after doing that, I'm going to place my pink, which is the actual fabric that we're working on it like this to cover everything. So now I'll place it on my tailor's arm like this, and I'm going to use my steam iron to just go ahead and iron this out. This is going to make the two pieces to actually gum together. Both of them are going to stick together because of the hemming gum in between. So this is what I have right now. So guys, like I said earlier, I went ahead to cut out another piece. Just this is optional. I just wanted to line the cup so that it looks nice, just in case you're wondering how you can line your cup if you finish making it like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin down the top of this cup, just like you see me doing like this, and I will head over to the sewing machine and stitch this area down and make a top stitch towards the lining. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done making that stitch to cover up our cage. So this is how nicely it looks. So I'll just pin it down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue to arrange this cup. Just ensure that everything is sitting rightly. Pin it down before we go over to the sewing machine and join the lining and this actual cup piece together. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch around the open edges, and this is what it looks like. So the both pieces now are together, and finally this is how to create your very own bust cage. So if you go ahead to use this to make a corset, it's going to look something like this. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be leaving links to all of my other corset tutorials in the description box, just in case you're having issues attaching this cup to your corset. So just go ahead and check out all those links. There are so many corset tutorials on there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I actually hope that this is helpful to you. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.